grip tie. I've got an extensive set of options from here. Okay, you guys are like 2-on-1 Russian type stuff? Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of options from my Russian. Figure out where Reedy likes to teach from, and just make that your set of options yours. Okay. Questions I end up looking close to. Next thing, let's talk a little bit about like area we focus on is like shot defense progression. Okay, I mean, here's a problem that we see in our room, and you guys probably see this sometimes. Your best guys, their shot defense is like the laziest in the room. Because it doesn't matter. Like if I'm the best guy, he's not. I gotta go ahead and have it. It's not gonna matter. It's a bad habit. And so you see this, we see this. Our best guys, that shoots a single, their first move is to go this way. That shoots high C and they sit here. Because they're comfortable. Right? But it shouldn't be. So we talk about shot defense progression is number one, as we all know, the first thing is I win the head hands. Okay? I don't let him underneath my head. He doesn't get underneath my head. And that starts by winning the tie. And this is, again, here's what like the JV version of that drill looks like. I get here, Reedy shoots, and I do this, and I hit my shot. Okay? Well, that's not real. That's the like initial version of that drill. Okay, but really what that is we're in here and we're kind of play wrestling in here. I gotta get my head in here. I gotta win this. We talk about hand fight a lot, but how much you talk about head fight? And you want to like keep guys off your legs, win the head position. I can win hand position here. He gets his head underneath me. So what good is that? Well, I mean, I don't care where I can still win the hand position. Hand fight. When head's beating me, it doesn't matter. And that's actually how, if he's beating me with his hands, and I know I'm in a bad spot, here's how I get back in there. I win the head fight. Win the head fight. It's that little roll getting underneath the guy's jaw a little bit. We even tell our guys right here, go head to head. Okay, here. Right now, we're 50-50. Okay, here, now I'm winning that. That matters. That inch right there, getting from here to here. Okay, now I'm winning this head fight. Okay, those things matter. Here, I'm winning the head fight. Okay, and so that's the first step of this. It's not just head hands defense. Look, here it's win the freaking hand fight, and when you drill it, we should actually, when I'm in here, Reedy should be like, I don't even feel like I can shoot. Doesn't even want to shoot here. There's step one. Then the next part gets to that. Okay, yeah, I'm in here. He goes, beat him with my head. Get lateral. I don't need a lateral. This tiny stage that will still work. Okay, so we don't need a lateral. But I get lateral. When I don't go backwards. He fires off. And I got to give some ground side to side. I feel like wrestlers the last time, but man, I'm having trouble getting angles because it's all straight on, right? Your fakes are great, but it's always like this. Okay, there's no angle there. Okay, my angle comes off my fake, but it's fake angle. All right, there's where we get that guy moving. So we talk a lot about when I say we all make this mistake of like, hey, get your feet moving, get his feet moving, make him move his feet. We get lateral. That makes him move his feet. Okay, so win the head position, win the head hands. And then the next part of the progression is, and they beat my head. Okay, what's next? Hands. I gotta go hands down. Okay, and this can look different. Sometimes, say he's coming single here, I might beat him, and then I can look to drag immediately. Okay, and that's probably the best option. That's probably like the ideal option. But sometimes it's not that. It's just to get a hand down and get my feet off the mat. Because again, like this is great. I can go ahead, same shot here. And I beat that down block here. I beat that shot. But dude, if this guy's real explosive, and I try to pull one of these, he might go right through me. So I'm gonna have to feel when it's time when I can beat him. My down block, feet away. Okay. Again, get lateral afterwards, and then sometimes. Whatever. This guy shoots straight double. You beat my head if I get my hands down in between. Then we get to our short offense. So head position, head hands. He beats my head, doing down block. And then the next part would be he beats my head and hands. All right, and then we're just talking about like basic shot defense once it gets there. Just slide off the shot. I just tell this very quick story. My high school coach, dude, he was a pretty good coach, but he didn't wrestle. And so I was like a fun in high school, and I was like, man, this guy didn't know anything. And he's always talking about like, hey, this guy gets our shot here, we sprawl here, and he's like, point your toe, slide off the shot, we gotta slide down. And I was like, this kid's talking about freaking sliding down. See, no. I went to Warburg, like the very first practice, Coach Miller, pretty good coach, year, he's all right, he's decent. He's just first practice, he's like, yeah, point your toe and slide down. I was like, shit. Also knew what he's talking about. Okay? So now here I am telling you guys, you got to slide off the shot. And it matters because Reedy gets a little bit extended here, right? And I pretty much beat the shot. When I get here, he's coming up into me. I got to hop. He's coming into me. That same position. Again, and notice where my hand is, by the way. Here's an area like we guys hear all the time. He wants to turn the corner. I'm not stopping him from turning the corner right there. Here, I see. Just slide. Just one slide. Push off. We're always yelling, get off the shot, get off the hold, slide down. Get off the shot, get off the hold, slide down. That's what that is. Okay, so that's like option what? Head, hands, down block, slide down. Okay, we're A, B, C. Now we start talking a little bit about, even before we get like into jump. Yeah, same thing. He might get here. I almost sprawl, but not quite enough. Now we just got to re-sprawl. What I don't do right now is this. Lean over top. And shoot high C. Same thing. I almost got him stopped. Oh my God, screwed it. You better be pretty quick to get in there and have some skill if you're going to be the chest wrap guy. And get off the shot. Same thing. He beats me. Just go single here. I got to re-sprawl. Yeah? And it's not just down. I gotta run my feet a little bit. Just keep getting down, away from it. Okay? We do this drill at high C. This is a really good place to play in right here. It's like you gotta think, what are his options right now, or what are his goals? He wants to obviously cut across. He wants to crack me down. Okay, he wants to lift me, bring me up the middle. My job right here is he's tight to my leg. I want to create space here. Right? If I can create some space, that's ideal. But I can't do that. Yeah, I weigh like 165 pounds. I bend over, I weigh like 85 and a half. It just picks me up. Okay, I don't set our feet over top of the guy. And so the drill is I'm here, space. Okay, I'm trying to create space. If I can get some space, keep following me a little bit. If I can create space. If I can't create space, you know what? It's not time to. All right, that's it. It's not that. We're not there yet. It's trying to create space. I can't. Get down again. Trying to get back to that. Within your scrambles, within your flurries, trying to get back to a better basic position. All right, so that's a great place to play because when I play in there, the other thing I have to think is, say Reedy drops his level, like he's going to lift me. I get to drop my level. You know what I mean? Like he's going to try to bring me up. Yeah, there. Tries to bring me up the middle. I get to match pressure. He tries to crack me down. I get to stay up. Okay? I don't go down on purpose. I don't go down on purpose. I don't want to be on my butt. Okay, so a good place to kind of play from. And then you go to option G and do your scramble stuff. Okay? You can find that on flow. Okay, a couple other quick drills that we do on our feet that have really been important for us. So we talk about like territory. We do a lot of like stocking drills. Okay, how many times I tell you guys like, don't chase him, don't reach, don't stop, stock him, don't chase him. Okay, so we try to spend a lot of time doing that same thing. And really, this is actually like perfect because we're thinking territory again. Right, and so there's a combination of. We had an 84 pounder that was like you get really like anxious and start reaching for guys. So I like to be patient, be urgent. Right? Patient urgency. Like I'm still wrestling urgent, but I not up here. Okay, so I'm stalking Reedy, and it means two things. My position is low, my head stays lower than his. Okay, but what I don't do is say get him on the edge here. I don't let him circle me back. I mean, right now you know, I see all the time, all the freaking time right here. We let a guy off the hook. And I know high school rules are a little bit different on the edge. They're actually terrible, but here's the thing. It still helps. Right, the edge still helps. He feels that. He feels the edge. He knows it, and he feels like that he's under some, like the edge is my partner right here. So part of this is if we haven't even touched yet, I gotta be choppy with my steps. If you're like a heavy right leg lead, I can't circle like this very well. Everybody, you know, we tell our guys don't cross your feet. How can I not? And so I gotta square him a little bit. So I'm here both ways. He goes one way, stand. We stay in front. We're choppy with our steps. And now the other part is I'm not an offensive lineman. I'm not just here, but a little bit. And then I got to take territory again. I'm here. We're on the edge again. Okay? You know, winning my position. I keep my fakes going. I bet most of our scores, they come from that guy shooting better out. He feels that. And he feels that there. So win that territory, stocking. So in the room, your stocking drill at first, it's not going to look very good because guys are too slow with it. But that's originally is if we start here, Reedy's kind of just backing from me. He's backing and trying to circle. I just work on cutting him off. Then we exit. And now every time he lowers his level, I lower my level. Okay, so I'm stalking, but I'm matching head level. Because what I don't want is he lowers his level or he fakes, and I'm like, oh, I better get up. He's like, stop that guy, hands low. When I say hands low, I hate this. That's not intimidating. Right? Like the wrestling guy's just like this. Like as if he kicks you through that. Right? If he's explosive, and I just do this. Right? That's, if you're worried about an explosive guy, find his head. Right? Move that head. It's gonna be sometimes an explosive guy, he fakes on me a little bit, and I'm thinking about head and hand down. It can't be he fakes and I go here. I mean I gotta lower my level, gotta match it with my head, but also I'm here. Put your hands on now. Okay. That's where guys go, oh, if he's explosive, I better just stay here. Okay, so as you do that drill, now it's stock, down. Stock, down. And then eventually, I want to stalk him, and I want the partner to shoot. Stock, he fires one, and it can either be because he catches me reaching, and when I get to my tie, he catches me reaching, or just shoot so the guy has a feel. Stop. Legs away, go. Questions on that? Then we do the same thing within our time. Two things at once. One is win territory. So when I get to my tie, I keep stalking. Okay, but we talk about like put him on the ropes. Okay, like means make this guy really defensive. Maybe not I should say put him on the cage. No. But like just make this guy continue to make him feel defensive. So it just means our motion. Okay, and it can start slow. It should start slow. I want to work stalking him. I want to get to my tie. And then when I get here, we move him a little bit. And I'd really prefer to see this first. Slow and control. Hands stay on. Okay? Then when guys first do it, they think it has to be like, just like, right? Like slow slow down and be controlled. Focus on your position. So the idea is keep him on the ropes, keep him defensive, and then it's keep him on the ropes, find your opening, boom, fire off your shot. Keep him off the rope, he dives in again. Take those legs what? Score off his bad shot. And so a lot of this is really like, we want to put pressure on guys in forced errors. And I think that's not just at the college level, at every level. The worst guys shoot too much, honestly. And I think it's hard for coaches were like, go score points. Right, go score points. Yeah. But if we're two of the freaking best guys in the country, and I just go out and I just think like, well, I'm just going to shoot 100 times, that's where he's going to break. And I say break, like break my position. And sometimes it's like in poker, you can't, the amateurs play all the time. Pros, like, there's a lot of fun. And so it's the same thing here. Like, I can't just shoot myself out of the match. I know that's a hard concept because, well, points, go score points, but you got to position first. Position over points. Position leads to points. I think one thing on that ropes drill that a lot of guys struggle with in the game is me and coach are doing that, and they'll be like trying to keep backing up, you know. And guys are backing up, and one of my note on is, transition my collar type whatnot. And a little bit of it is everybody's going to wrestle you different, right? So if you're wrestling me, I'm old, I don't do anything, so you keep backing up, right? Well, you better get me to set my feet because I can't do anything with coach backing up. So get that guy to freaking set his feet wrong, and then you can do that thing. And then the other thing I know that some of our guys struggle with is it's kind of like they think it's like they're like dribbling a basketball with their opponent's head like here. You know what I mean? To call it, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people be like, hey, slow, coach, set your feet there. Not easy time. Just let it go slow, take time with it. Some of our guys are like, it's like the first thing we do every year is we learn that drill. And these guys are like, new to college, they're gonna make this fast. And it's like there's drill. So you can't like we say it like we're not like slapping at his head. Your heavy pulls come from your hips. Right? If I pull, it's not like that. That's not heavy. It's heavy. Move my feet, my hips. Drop the head. Coach Miller can play 10 times. I love it. You heard that or not? What's that kind of like? Okay. Bottom stuff. Here's what I say on like underneath stuff. So yeah, every now and then it's explode on the whistle. I want guys getting good in positions that we usually tell them to avoid. You know, instead of like fearing, don't let that leg in. Don't let his leg come in. Feel good then. Leg comes in, let's do that thing. Put that guy in the center. Okay, same thing on our we work a lot. First position we start on is from our belly. I want guys to feel comfortable just building their base. And again, so it's not if I'm on my belly, I'm not looking for an escape. Just trying to get to my base. Right? A spot where I can actually get an escape from. And a base doesn't just mean my knees, it's my butt. Pushing back to my butt is my base. So without my guy on me first, my belly is here's one thing. Okay, also, I decided don't teach your guys to do this. Okay. I have like 90% of kids that come in first day, they do this. Show them here. Like here. That's like the easy, like, that's money for the top guys. He ride me for about an hour if he wants not. When I get to this stuff here. We're here. Just down here. Okay? Freestyle. My elbows are above my shoulders. Folks out, my elbows are behind my shoulders. I'm here. I'm using my wrist. And then the pressure is here. We get a guy moving. Being able to push back to our butt. Get a guy moving. Being able to push back, short sit. Or change over for a second level. Okay? And so a couple things quick from here that we'll spend time on is like, what are the three things that guys are worried about in their belly? Beating inside wrist, right? Beating the leg, beating tight wrist. So let's spend time on those three things and spend a ton of time there. And actually get to a point where like they kind of want a guy to grab their wrist. But they hope that leg comes in. Or a tight wrist is no big deal. And so real quick on that. Inside wrist. Here's where this usually starts. Go on the side one. We go like reach across over here. Reach across. Reach across with your left hand. Yeah, that's where it starts usually. Guy pulls it in from here. So I have to get good at scraping. Yeah, but as he pulls it in, he still gets the inside wrist. Now here's the key. Obviously my elbow can be out, Not only do I bring it in, but this hand, look at his wrist right now. Very strong. Here, like it's almost at a point where he can't even jump over. And he probably will, but when he does, like he can't really drive over. This is the position that right now if he gets over there, he can't push forward. Okay. Well, it's not here, not tucked over it like this. He'll drive over that. It's out. It's as far as my elbow can come in and my wrist can go this way. And my hand turns up a little bit. And just look at the angle of his wrist. Okay? If he doesn't jump sides, it's pretty easy. This one, so I'm here, my hand comes across, I should push back to short sit. If he does, jump across from here. Same thing. Okay? With that elbow, I'm throwing it at it. I'm pushing and throwing here. And watch this other hand from here, it comes across here. Up, back into it. And you'll have to like spend a lot of time there at first with your guys and feel it yourself. It's different, but feel that pinch. Okay? And then same thing. If he's on that side, somehow he just finds it right away. The race is this. Once he grabs it, the race is who pulls it in faster. Okay? There, I win the race. If he gets to here, he's winning the race. Okay? So as soon as I feel that, it's feed that thing immediately. Throw that thing, hand across and go. Similar like tight waist stuff.
Hey, Coach Mitchell, I got to interrupt you for a second. One of the Hall of Fame inductees is missing a coat with their car keys and their cell phone in it. Did anybody happen to like maybe grab a coat that's not theirs? All right. I just thought I would ask. Thank you.
Okay. Oh yeah, tight waist stuff. So it's, whatever. Like go ahead and like grab my left side a little bit, like start over there. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, so as I come up, same thing. I'm bringing this side. At first here, I can throw a little elbow, and it can loosen this tight waist. I'm throwing below his shoulder here. Throw, and I'll know on the way. If this is good enough, push, back to my sit. All the way to the other side. It's our changeover really, but I'm not doing anything like fancy. Just not stopping until I get to the other side. Pushing with that over. You get to like right about here. Now sometimes I get here, and he sinks, right? And I know like if I keep trying to go this way, he's gonna drive over this. Right? Or chop and drive, whatever. I'm gonna be in a worse spot. So we're gonna switch directions. Okay? I'm never doing this. Unless you're like old school heavyweight with no weight limit, then you can do this. Okay? We don't do that anymore. Okay, so here I'm not reaching in, I'm getting weight down on this immediately. Okay? Before he starts loading me up. Down, and it's like all the weight is on his arm, and my hips are gonna switch aggressively back to the other side. Okay, but it's another one where we got a hustle right there. Okay? Switch those hips hard. So, and then last one would be just if a leg comes in. Again, like, have your guys playing there a ton. When I say playing, they're really like, not just drill, a little drill technique in there, but every one of you guys in here, if you put a leg on me, it's going to feel different. Okay? Some of you, long, whatever, just reachy, flexible knees. Some guys not so much. Okay, so I just want to play with it, but here's what I want to feel. Sometimes it's like, I start coming up and the straight side in, and you're like, belly back down. Oh crap, I'm supposed to not let the leg in and it came in. All right, coach can't tell me to keep the leg out. I got it in. Instead, it comes in. We're back. We're back here. Okay, so and that'll be different. Sometimes I'll end up in crab. Sometimes I'll push back to the opposite side. But get in the habit of leg comes on, push back over. Okay, so it's not, we're not afraid of that. Especially, all you guys are old, right? And you wrestle in practice, you don't want to work very hard. Then I hope the guy puts a leg in. Like, all right, now we can wrestle with this guy. Right? Like grab your wrist and hit the side roll. I learned that. Right? Like just do old guy stuff. That's how like I learned my best bottom stuff like being lazy coach. Honestly, like some of these things. Instead of like worrying about a leg coming in and trying to explode every time, how about I just put him on his hip and beat him with some crap. Questions on any of that? Yo.
When you're grabbing that foot and you get that sit back, how are you grabbing that foot? Are you grabbing more insole or towards the toe?
That last one. So it kind of depends on. So go ahead and throw a leg in from here one. Typically, if I put Reedy on his hip here, I want to get this foot out, right? And so this is, I mean, ideally, when I sit, I like to, for right now, I want to stay off this elbow. Because I assume a lot of times the guy might be in like power half or like trying to pull me back. So this, I'm not, my core, all my core is strong. So I want to be way over, my chest is forward, my knee way over my nose. And all this is on purpose. Post, strong, here's the foot, I would just grab here, and I do two things at once. Okay, I'm to beat legs, we want the leg out. So not only do I grab and I push it out, but I scissor here at the same time. So I'm doing both. Okay, so I'm scissoring out, we come back high, now we're grabbing, and we're good. Okay, now that was that position. When I pushed back from leg here, I ended up like on top of his hips. Now I'm probably keeping this away. And traveling this side. But again, like that's kind of tough because something else we teach in here real quick. But you know, you put a guy on his hip, and the guy's like more flexible than Reedy, and his leg comes across here. Okay, now I'm gonna keep it across. I'd like to push it out, but this dude's got a grip. Like if I can get it out, great. But that guy that he can bend his knee like this way all the way, I'm not gonna push it out. It's just too tough in here. So we keep it high, close, lead it behind. This action. I don't go forward to follow me. Close, here. I've got two options. One, arm in between, or swim to this wizard. Right here. Okay. If you guys really clean right here, I'll start going down here. Turn this way. Start working back this side. Good spot again. Those are like 20, does this, does that, and it causes good. Great places to play. Right, like so the guys just there's a little less stress to it too. If you're like, all right, we're going hard. Top guy's got a leg in. The top guys are creeping hammer on top. Bottom guys, so this sucks. I suck at getting out of legs. Play in there. Catch play. If it gets beat, start over. Don't let him grab his arm off. Okay. Real quick, I'll do a couple things for top. So I had a couple other drills for feet too, but top here's our main thing. Turn this way once. So we just spend time like how we get on. How we get on is important. Okay? So I just don't get on. Yeah. I get on with a purpose. Okay, so I'm like looking right at sketch. Okay, there it is. Got the first recruiting class of Granby. Okay, so right here, I'm looking over top. I'm seeing where that official is. It's like I'm a runner. Get started in the blocks. Chest gets on and get some grip. See your shirt and get on and see that wrinkle. That's my grip. I can't do this. Okay, but everything but that. Get grip. Okay, now my feet get set. This back foot's dug in. Okay, I like to be under. I want to be under. I'm not going to chop on the whistle in this guy. The basics do is the basic low, wide, chop, and I'm stuck outside. I'm start under. I'll give you two options for your start, but it's the same thing, same follow-up. Number one is I explode up and I go double thigh pry, which a lot of our guys like. I like to go thigh pry, and this is like almost like a high tide weight. And I'm just bumping. I'm trying to get weight forward. Either way, boom, here or here, and it's exploding up to my feet and up in the saddle right here. This is the most important part. I'm not on my knees. My back knee's on his tailbone. My knees are pinched. Thigh pry. I like to be up here where this tight waist, I've got body. It's like if I can slack my hands and running forward. I block, pinch, I post, and just slowly but surely keep wearing on this guy. Okay, again, the great thing about this, I won't always break him down, but I can force this guy to make a mistake. So the same thing is on our feet. We're forcing mistakes. So I get up here. You know what happens a lot of times? He starts bringing this knee up like he's going to. Here's an easy shot. Yeah, there's our crosswinds. That's where we want to be. How many times coaches were yelling, hand control? Probably being yelled seal off instead. Why? Because if I'm here, hand control. I mean, that's part of it, right? Just please grab that thigh right here. And then we go. Till cross wrist, wherever we want to be. That pressure though, man, That's tough on that guy. Guys on top have to be patient there. They get the guys that, oh, it's the guys that aren't good, they'll get impatient. He's going to hold position. Right? Don't come up here. Pressure force. He's going to hold. He might not make a mistake. He might think here for a while. Well, I can transition to my top stuff. We go from there. Most of the time, though, that guy, he feels the urgency. He's going to move first. Questions on any of that? Any other technique stuff? I don't want to spend this whole time doing technique. A couple things there.
What's your
Defense? Yeah. So one, it kind of depends on what if it's cross wrist, it's another race, right? So if I get to this chop here, my race is I want to win up here. His is down here. Elbow comes in and scrape right away. Okay. If we go, yeah, I want to push off my knee here. As I'm loading him up. By the way, you guys all go regular 2-on-1 tilt. I don't know. I graduated in the 90s. We used to always do this 2-on-1 tilt. And all of a sudden, every guy knows a cross wrist tilt, but nobody does a regular 2-on-1 tilt anymore. It's like the easy, I thought it was like the first one we learned. Anyways, so I'm here. Okay, I want to be the tilt guy. I want my knee all the way up front because I want to load him up. As I load him up, he pushes off my knee. So to speak. So getting out of that lap on the way. Okay, just pushing that. Kind of the same thing on that cross wrist. A little bit tougher. If I do get to cross wrist here, as we roll through, as I'm coming. Yes, there it is. You found my knee on the opposite side. Yeah, I mean, obviously, those are tough positions there. Maybe it's like that's what you're able to don't get there. Yeah.
Are you beating the ankle guy?
The guy sitting over ankle? Yeah, so I'd say here's one thing is, again, it's my knee that's most important. There, I just stay strong here first. Try to keep my knee forward. My big thing is, I don't want to be extended there. And so I can threaten a little bit first, seems like a little bit of the old coaching trick. I get my foot down and turn into this guy here. Okay, shoot bigger guys, that might really be effective. But I threaten there, and then I slide that thing here. Okay, so I'm here, keep weight back, threaten. And I don't personally, I don't want to stop at just my knee slide. Because if my here and I reach with me a little bit, there's that chop. So I'm going all the way to my changeover. That leads here. Here. See, by the way, see this? That's hand control. I have hand control. I have to grab his hand. That's not hand control. This is definitely hand control. He's got hand control. Yeah, that's hand control. We call this our second level. Almost everything we do, if we're not going tripod, is the disposition. So my changeover, that spiral, changeover, back here, second level. Guy goes out to my ankle, rotate, second level. Guy goes chop, my base side, second level. Yeah, get to a place where the unexplosive guy. I have a specialty in the unexplosive guy technique. What else? Any questions?
Question, what's your terminology? So you said play, but drilling play, and how do you break that down and explain that to new guys?
Yeah, that's the new guy part is the hard part of that. So we tell them it's whatever we call it, sometimes sparring, play wrestle, give take, it's all the same thing. So drilling is, we're trying to break it down as far as, we're learning a new skill. Partners, it's kind of letting you have it, it's going to let you know if you're doing something wrong. We're really thinking through it, breaking it down. Now we play in there, our partner's going to give you a good feel. If it's a designed, okay, we're going to play wrestle in this position. And we do both. On Friday, yesterday, I gave them 6 positions, and we just play wrestle in those 6 positions. We spent anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes in each one of them. Some days, I'll have 20 positions. Some of them are technical things like a leg in. Sometimes we'll do scramble stuff, right? So we're here. Okay, we're gonna play wrestle from here. And then there's a position. We can both start right here. Yeah, we're gonna play wrestle from here. Yeah, it's just some common positions to get in a match that aren't super technical, right? He's got head under here, under low single, and I'm sitting in the corner in the crotch or inside reach. Okay, so a lot of those type of positions. And I think it helps for the new guy originally, if we do some of those like actual positions, instead of saying, okay, just go play wrestle. Because they don't really understand, like, then they think it's like taking turns, or one guy's just, he's not going to get take, he's going to take and take. The other guy's like, just getting his butt kicked from play wrestling's not very fun for him. Okay, so, trying to put them in positions early, and then as they get better at it, okay, 10 minutes they would play wrestling. So, and we do both. I mean, we personally, we wrestle live a lot less than we used to. These guys are around. We wrestle live like every day. So was probably a mistake. Well, not probably, it was. And so we do a lot more. Like our kind of weekly schedule Monday is just a drill day. We'll have, especially coming off competition, we'll have notes on team stuff, and we'll have all the coaches have individual stuff. So Monday's practice, it's not intense at all. But we'll come around and I'll go with all the guys that have individual notes that I have on, and the other coaches are doing the same thing. And then while we're doing that, because we'll probably have 18 things, all right, come in real quick, here's a position that we saw that everybody needs to spend time on. And then we'll do it, and then we might pick back up on our notes. We don't usually won't get to all of them. That's kind of what Monday looks like. This week, for example, we're not competing yet, and so Monday was technique, Tuesday we went live. Wednesday we did a mindset day, Thursday we went live. Friday was give takes, Friday, today we went 2 matches. Okay. So that's kind of our rhythm as far as, obviously depends on what we have coming up. We just came off, it's 6 weeks of preseason, dudes are 4 out. So we gave them 5 days off, recovered, they looked better when we came back, they were healthier, we gave them some time there. And then they compete in 2 weeks, so all guys are all supposed to make weight next week. And so, mindset day consistent. Actually, right now we're working with the rest of the mindset guys. We're doing like a 4-week deal. We started doing it a few years ago. It's probably one of those things, like, and then those guys usually ask the question, and I'd ask the same question, like, okay, what percentage of wrestling is now? And, we're off like 75, 80%. How much time do we actually spend on it? So we do that, just add something. Every year we try to find something. If it wasn't those guys, other people we could bring in. People that come in and speak to the team. There was another guy we worked with. He did like one of those, like every guy took one of those tests, personality things, and we could learn some stuff about the guys and talk about what that meant. He came in a few times each preseason, and then we'll do like visualization as a team throughout the year. Early in the season, I talk through it a lot more like explaining how it works, what it should look like, giving them, hey, I know you're going to get distracted. You're going to start thinking about your girlfriend or the test you got going. Bring yourself back to it. So we spend a lot of time early in the season. I talk them through the visualization. At the end of the year, a lot less. Then we do like affirmations, like meaning we're just at the end of practice, we're just walking. It's all right. I can take down anyone. And I want them it's awkward for the new guys at first, and it's out loud. It's not just as loud enough so you can hear it. Take down anyone. And I want to see it like talk to yourself like you talk to yourself. So some guys are take down anyone. I can take down anyone. Oh, do your thing. Like make it real. Make it real. Nobody can ride me. Nobody can hold me down. Somebody make me I can escape reversing. Nobody can. No one can help it. Over and over and over. Stop them. Same thing. So affirmations, big for us. The other mental thing that I think has really helped us, we do this a lot towards the end of the season. When you're like, you're nervous, you just want to get through practice, right? We can get through it and not be injured today. That's a win, right? And so at the end of the season, sometimes it's like, okay, we're going to do some match situations where me and Reedy are going. Here's the situation. You just went out of bounds. There's 38 seconds left in the match. And we're down by a point. We got to get takedown. And make it real. What's your mindset here? So we go back. I'm going live. He's going like 75, 80%. Not even that, maybe. He's gonna let me get it. But I gotta move. I gotta work for it. 28 seconds. What's your mindset? What are you telling yourself? What's your body language like when you walk back? Put yourself there. Okay. What's it gonna be? Is it just gonna be touching? Probably not. It's gonna be a sprint. You gotta get this guy moving. Get to your place where he's got 3-4 options from. Okay, but put yourself there mentally. Okay, this time you're on bottom. You're down 2. We need escape and take down. 32 seconds left. This time, hey, it's bad call. The ref Yeah, that's in here. We're really good. Right? That's my favorite. Okay, Jeff. You missed it. It's a bad call. Okay, well, what's your mindset? Are you popping on the way back? All right, no big deal, man. Let's go. Okay, so put yourself in these situations mentally, where you're like, okay, here's my go-to. No big deal. And I don't like them all to be negative. So, dude, this guy's broke. You're up by 11. There's 42 seconds left. Go get that freaking set. So, how many takedowns do you need? I used to know the math. 3-point takedown in college. Yeah, but put him in those situations. What else? We got the time limit. 20 minutes? 5 minutes? Uh, Here's a couple things. So real quick, I know Reedy's got a couple things, and just maybe like hit stuff quick, Reedy, that you got down. But here's one thing I want to say. When you think about our program, it's unique. Reedy came in the third year of the program. So if you don't know, 2008-09 was the first year of our program. We won a national title in 2012, our first time, so the fourth year of the program. Reedy came in the third year of the program. And I'm telling you, like, that's not just me, like, blowing smoke up his butt. Like, there's a game changing difference in our program right there. But what I mean, not just because of Reedy, but for all you guys to have coaches in your program that are absolute difference. And so part of that was I knew Reedy. We went to school together. We actually lived together in Waverly for a while. I trusted him. I knew what I was getting out of Reedy. And I think that's one thing I've been really fortunate that I've got a ton of really good coaches. Guys that have come in that are really bought in that I trust. That if I'm gone, if I'm out for a month, like things will run the way they need to run. And probably one of the best, maybe compliment, but like something I never even thought of. Guy, I don't know if you guys know who Dave Maricasani is. He was doing a podcast with one of our other assistant coaches, Grant Turner. He's been with us since the very first year of the program. And he said, man, the one thing I noticed about your guys' coaching staff is that you guys actually like each other. And I was like, man, that's a good thing. That sounds again like that sounds like, man, I think you should, but I'm not saying you guys are all going to be best friends, and not every guy. I mean, Jason Clark's on our staff, and I don't know if I call him pretty likable. We're the Simpsons, so I give him a hard time, but no, but we, like genuinely, like clearly, like we enjoy being with each other, but these are guys I trust. And at the same time, I'm not afraid to coach my coaches either. You know what I mean? Not because I'm like, hey, I'm boss and this is how it goes, but because I know these guys are receptive. They want to learn. They want to get better. And so, and these guys have given me some coaching over the years too on some things that maybe I should do better. I'm probably less receptive than I am. So, but I think that's one thing when your staff, you've got to be people you trust. It's got to be people that you enjoy being with, and then not be afraid just to give them some, here's some things, man. I think that could be a little bit better. Here's some things, early on, one of our assistant coaches after the very first year of the program, Coach Miller actually told me, here didn't like tell us that we were going to win the title the next year. I was like, oh, we've never, we don't even talk about winning titles. You definitely should be telling other people to win a title. And even years that we had like 10 All-Americans coming back, I would never be, yeah, we're probably never. So that was a good coaching moment for him at the time. That's a mistake. Okay, so, and then the last thing I would say with that is, like with Reedy, people talk about like empowering your coaches. To me, that doesn't really mean like delegation. Yeah, I don't come in with a list to the office every day. Like, Reedy, I need you to do these 10 things. Okay? I have no clue what he does at the time. He might not be working that hard. Maybe he's gotten the trick. I don't know. But he's always doing something. Okay, so it's not. It may be over the years, like, hey, what do you need me to do? Early on, but now he's just doing it. Make our travel schedule plan this year out and like that. But I assume he's got it done. And so things like that. So Reedy's got a few things for you, and then jump back in. All right, here's a few things. Through the years, professional development, we have like 3-page single-spaced document that like he goes over it with all the assistant coaches. Luckily, we have me, him, and Henderson are full time. We've got Jason Clark, and there's like 10 other part-time guys, and so we really need everybody to be on the same page. And so every year before season starts, we'll have like a meeting, and he'll just go through all of the stuff because he doesn't want to miss any of it. But I kind of highlighted like 10 of the things that I think are important. For the young guys, or for you guys to tell your assistants. This was Coach Miller thing too. he told us this when I helped him at work right there, but it's not about you. It's like the number one rule of coaching, you know. Early on, we had one of our assistant coaches, he'd come in, the school coach's locker room, and they'd be like, how's practicing? He's like, oh, dude, you see that dude? I got 48 takedowns on him. Whoever he was wrestling. And he was like making the practice about him. Well, dude, the practice is about the athlete you're wrestling, you know. So make sure those guys know that, hey, you know, as an athlete, you're like, it's all self, you know, so many of us, we talk about it being selfish. I don't think wrestling has to be a selfish sport, but, you know, some of these kids are bred that way or whatever. But when it comes to coaching, it's not about you. I mean, I don't care what level you coach at. There's not that much glory in the sport of wrestling as far as coaching. So that's number one thing we always talk about. Number two thing, athletes aren't always going to be motivated the same way as you, you know. And I think some of us, we like coach the way we were coached. It was like our coach was a hard ass and Bob Kennedy yelled at all of us, and he's crazy, Bob Kennedy, right? And so we're like, I want to be crazier than Bob Kennedy because he's a hard ass. Well, most of these kids, man, they like want to hug, right? You know, not that many of them want to be yelled at. So it's like, hey, meet them where they want to be. You know, coach them the way they need to be coached, not the way you like to be coached, the way you're coached. Developing our program mentality. If we fail, and well, you know, if we fail as teammates, all of us kind of thing. So I see so many times, like, you talk to a guy and they'll be like, oh, how's your team doing? And you're like, it sucks, but my guys, oh, my guys, they're good, man. My guy, Tim's, you see what I did with him? My guy, he got the win deal today, but, you know, some of these other guys, you know, you just kind of play the best guy, and it's like, hey, work with freaking everybody, you know, the worst guy, the best guy. And even if you don't work with Tim, it's like, you know, our guy. You know, language of us, we, they, you know, them, kind of thing, not like my guy, it's about me kind of thing. That's the word. And empower the guys too. All coaching roles are important, you know, from taking notes at meets to workout guide, fundraising, obviously your level, kids club, marketing, you know, tournament setup, who runs track wrestling. All that stuff's important, you know. It's not just like how many cheers you can sit on Saturday of the best guys. Competition, we're prepared to take notes. That's one thing, man. When we go to tournaments, we always have notes on who we're competing against. When we come back, you know, sometimes we're like, well, I remember that you can finish single, and then 12 hours of wrestling and it's done. You're like, Tim's won tournament, they look great. Well, we were in 3 singles and we couldn't finish. So it's important to remember that. Don't ever question head coach in public. You know what I mean? Or not even in public, and sometimes it's like to another parent or another friend or kid on the team. If you have a problem with Coach Mitchell or whatever, it's like, hey, we'll talk about it, keep yourself into all of it, but let's do it in private. Loyalty is key, keep everything in house. See so many times where wrestling's kind of funny because you guys are all friends, and then you'll go to a tournament, we're talking to each other all day, and then you're like, hey man, a 25 pounder, you can't get out from the legs, and he's like, we're wrestling in the finals, you like shit out of me. One is working with guys that are not like you. Okay, so that's a hard one, you know. We have 60 guys in the team, so there's a wide array of people, you know. So it's like make sure that you can work with the guys that aren't like you. You know, sometimes we like let our feelings show that like I kind of think this guy's a dipshit or whatever. You know, it's like you can't ever know that, right? And so especially young coaches, make sure they're not telling like former teammates or anything like that. They're like, I don't really think that much of Tim's, man. Because that gets back to him so fast, your relationship with him is completely ruined. You know, find out what somebody that's not like you, you know, meet them in their spot, you know, try to freaking find ways that you can be like them, find things that are in common. I always be building guys up. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but be careful with sarcastic remarks. You know, sometimes you like give a guy a hard time because he got his butt kicked or something, and you were just joking and you thought that, but then him personally, he's like, oh, my coach really does think that I suck, you know, and then he dwells on that and it builds up. And the other opposite thing of that is like sometimes it's like you can tell a guy the opposite thing of that. And I tell Tim's roommate, man, you should have seen how good Tim's looked today in practice. Tim's roommate goes and tells him that, man, that makes a freaking ton of difference having another person say that to him. And then last thing, you can't be hard on the guy until they know you trust him. I think sometimes we get in a situation where like, so we get to I yelled at him, and then Mitchell comes over, and then the third coach comes over, and he's like, what the hell's wrong with you? And it's like, hey, keep building this guy back up. Coach Mitchell's the guy that yells at somebody. I need to walk up to him and be like, dude, we just got to get better. I'm like, so what? I thought back up. Back up. Any questions on this? Yeah.
All success you guys have had, how often or how hard is it to change things up, like try something new in practice or, just, do we stick with the same plan year after year?
No, I mean, I think that's one thing is, like anything, you expect the guys to be student of the sport. We have to be too, and so, clearly you have a blueprint that's worked, but then for us, every year, really every day, every week, you're kind of like reflecting on how's it going, and I'm always impressed with coaches that can like plan their week, their month, their season out. I can't. And I mean, this is actually the book that I come into practice with every day. And a lot of it for us is each week, every day, we're kind of like we're evaluating the guys based on where they need to get better, but also like how do they look? Like I said, after preseason, these guys were run down. Well, it'd been crazy to be like, well, you know what? Though I said we haven't done a hill workout this year. We were gonna, you do preseason, you kind of have your stuff you do. We were gonna take them to the hill one day. They were like, when we did this thing where they're in the park, we had to do 1,000 burpees. So I was kind of dumb idea, but we looked to see like what's the world record for burpees in an hour, and it's 1,000. So like, okay, you and your partner, between the two of you, can do 1,000 burpees. The one guy go, just do as many, and then the next guy go, then the next guy go. It ended up being maybe roughly 500 apiece. Ended up being a lot tougher than we thought it was going to be. But we didn't do the hill workout after that. We were like, dude, these guys, they're like walking like this, So, but it's like, if I would plan my week out, and be like, well, we said you're doing the hill that day, so you guys are just gonna have to get tough here. That's a coaching decision. So I think, that, and then same thing, like I said, we used to wrestle, it's probably too much. But you give the guys what you think they need at the time. When we were first getting our program going, I feel like maybe these guys needed a little bit more of a mental edge to feel like they were tougher. And so we did some things that maybe seemed a little bit crazier, a little bit tougher, to help them build up to that mentality. But you have to be tweaking all the time, tweaking how you do things. So don't come in with your laminated practice plan that you used to. That seems to be easy or something. Any questions? I had a couple other things. Yeah, go ahead.
You can't go through your team routine on a competition day and you start a couple hours before.
Yeah, we've been talking about this. So they just changed the rules in college where now we can weigh in for duels 2 hours before. It was always an hour before previously. So for a duel, if the duel was at 7, weigh-ins were at 6. We usually show up at about 4. Get a good hard workout in. Like I wanted to come in actually a little bit overweight, like get down, get underweight, try to put food in them before weigh-ins, and then eat, feel good, weigh in, and then the second part was just like kind of because it was 1 hour, it was like just get loosened up and you're ready to go. 2 hours, it's a little bit different. You got some more time for that food to kind of digest. And again, I might look at it kind of like guy by guy. So some of our guys, even with 2 hours, they want to get something in. Or they want to break a sweat, get moving. A lot of the guys don't want to on a 2-hour weigh-in, and I'm okay with that. So that first 30 minutes, and again, after weigh-in, it's 30 minutes of just mostly hydration and like a light snack. And then from there, we want them to just get a good hard warm up in. So on a dual day, usually we do a team breakfast in the morning. We just wanted to make sure like guys were actually eating. That was it. And I know I always thought the guys were gonna love it. I think most would hate it that we do a team breakfast in the morning. We get up early, we go to Perkins or someplace, and then I get to see what they're eating. So it's not like when we get to tremendous 12 and they're gonna get 2 eggs and toast instead. And so I think that's part of it is I want to see that they're eating. I want to see what they're eating. I want to make sure they're putting something in them. And then that means, I think you guys probably you've gone through this and you your guys think this, and I always remind them okay. Sometimes you get to that point when you're making weight and you're like, okay, here's what I can do. I can eat and then go work out again, or I can do nothing. Right? And there's always that, because you're like, doing nothing sounds kind of good. But the answer is always eat and then work out again. Okay? And you're not gonna now if you gotta eat and lose 8 pounds, that's probably not you're in trouble. But if it's easy to lose a couple more pounds, then let's do that. So that's a reminder throughout the day. So morning of, eat breakfast, go check your weight after that, get that morning workout in, hopefully eat something again, and then get your workout in for the dual. So that's pretty typical. Yeah.
Well, just kind of looking in the future for us, 3-point takedown with you guys, I guess that won't too long to drop down unless they get rid of it. Does that really change any of your regimen? I mean, I get wrestling, you still look at all positions, or do you overemphasize things now because you get 3 points for a takedown?
Yeah, we haven't really changed anything. We kind of have to see, like, once we start competing, what that looks like. One of our alumni, he coaches California Judo, so they get to the end of their semester, the end of their season. And he said, like, they realistically hasn't changed things that much. He said, there's more points on the board, really, what it comes down to. Now, in college, we can score 4 points for back points, too. And so that's one area I would say for sure that is, I don't know if I'd say it's a secret or not, but our best guys have always been really good on top. I feel like it's one of the most overlooked areas. I mean, everybody's pretty good on their feet, but if you can like teach guys to be a hammer on top, it's like a great equalizer. We've had some guys that were maybe not the most talented, maybe not the best guys because they were tough on top. They were helping the best guys. So we really spent a lot of time on top, working hard on top, turning. That's been.
How do you get your guys to buy into the championship lifestyle?
Yeah, so there's a, you guys don't know, that's kind of like our team philosophy, and so number one, that's one of the things I wrote down is your team philosophy, whatever it is, it should be easily defined. If you don't have one, you got to come up, you got to create that. Like, what do you really want out of your program? And that's kind of what that was for me. Is like I had a vision for like what I wanted the program to look like, but even though we were having some success early on, I knew that it wasn't it. And so being really aware of where we were, and so that had to be really easily defined. And so part of it is that make it simple. Like keep things simple. The idea of living a championship lifestyle is hard, but it's simple, right? It's really like take your wrestling mentality into every single thing that you do. And then how do you get you guys to buy into that? Freaking brainwash them. Talk about it every single day. You talk about something about that's related to your team philosophy all the time. I think it's the most important part of our practice. We have bleachers in our room. The guys come in, sit in the bleachers. I've got this book, and so I'll have something written down that we're going to talk about every day. Every day. And I talked before. I know sometimes some guys prefer to talk after, that's fine. Especially if you're gonna like get on their asses about something, maybe after is better. But I talked to our guys before, and it's the most important thing to do it. And so and the other thing you have to remember is when I say like talk about it all the time, you ever talk about it and you feel like, man, we've been talking about this a lot. These guys are probably like rolling their eyes. They probably weren't even listening the other time. Right? And I know that because I was that guy. Right? I finally heard what Coach Miller was saying my sophomore year. What the hell was I doing the whole first year? Like, I didn't remember one thing he said. I was just like, man, I wonder what my girlfriend's doing right now. It's August. I mean, I was like, not present. And so, but talking about that, like, now I tell her guys that, like, I can see it when I talk to you guys. Guys, like, you're active listeners. You guys are not handed. Yeah, I get that. I tell our guys, you have to learn how to be an active listener. In here, like before practice, while we're showing technique. You ever like coach show technique and you get up and get your partner, like, what are we doing? Right? Okay? And that's okay. It's okay to understand they're going to do that too, but that's why we have to repeat the message a lot. Because they're not listening. Okay? And so we got to repeat. And then along with like keeping the philosophy clear, have a clear job description. And so we have a clear philosophy, a clear job description, and I'd say like a clear expectation of what success is. Okay, so the philosophy, championship lifestyle, job description. And this is what I want. I guarantee you guys will say the same thing. I want guys that are consistent, reliable, and tough. Okay? Consistent, reliable, and tough. Okay? Consistent means what we want more than anything is I want to know what I'm getting when we walk out there. Okay? I know that you might not win every time, but I want to know, like, I don't want this guy up and down, consistent. And so help them understand consistent input equals consistent output. And you have to live consistently. Right? You have to be consistent in everything that you do. Reliability. Are you going to make weight? Are you going to stay out of trouble? Are you going to be eligible? And then tough, man. Like, not just tough when you're beating some dude down, but tough when it's tough. Tough during that bad call. And tough when you're on the backside of the bracket. Those are tough situations when your dream shattered and you still got to represent the team. And helping them understand, again, back to championship lifestyle, these are life skills. These are things that, like, this is what your wife wants out of you someday. This is what your kids want. They want somebody who's consistent, reliable, and tough for them. And so making it, obviously, it's bigger than just wrestling. And then the clear expectation of what success is. Okay? Came from Coach Miller, we talked about it. You know, what's that mean? It just means, like, when you compete, winning isn't good enough. Right? Winning isn't even, like, that's not the main goal. The goal is, like, but was that, like, your best performance? Was that your best effort? That's what fight is. Was that, like, did you wrestle for the entire time? Because if you just win the match, you know, here's our example. So last year we won the national title by 49.5 points. Okay? We could have won by 9.5 points, and we'd still be the champs. We get the trophy, we get the rings, the banners, all that stuff. Winning by 9.5 is not good if you win by 49.5. It's the same thing when you compete. It's not just if you win. Yeah, dude, our first national champ, Matt Burns, won his second. He was Urbandale, Iowa Central, came to Grandview, won a title first year. He was injured. He came back the second year, won his second title. And he wrestled this dude who was transferred from Missouri, really good on top. At the end of the match, he got reversed with like 30 seconds left. He was up by like 5 or something. And he was like kind of playing it safe. So he gets rode out in the last 30 seconds. Okay? To this day, he's still like, Mitchell, I could have got away from that guy. Okay? That's why he was a two-time champ. Not because he's not like, yeah, he's not getting up, celebrating. He got up, freaking pissed, and he got rode out. And that's a guy that understands like what fighting. Understanding like, dude, that wasn't good enough. I didn't represent myself at the end of the match. So I still get to give him a hard time about it. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. What else? Talk about focus on the mental aspect. You know, Reedy said something when he talked about like build trust. Be you. You know, as a coach, I think it's really important to like be you, be who you are. I feel like when I was coming up, you know, Coach Gable he was the man, obviously pretty intense. And then like every high school coach in Iowa thought they had to like jump around and hop around in the corner and be like Coach Gable. And then all of a sudden Gable came along and he was like taking a nap in the chair. And everyone thinks, well, I guess that's how you do it. Okay? Or maybe you're not going to pay and like, oh, Terry Branch takes his shoe off during the match. I'm going to do that. I just be you, man. Like, coach, be real to who you are. Because the guys can see it. And they know when you're faking. And if the biggest thing you're trying to do early on is build trust, right? So you communicate, over communicate, talk to them a lot, ask questions, you know, build trust, and then you can be hard on them. But you're not going to build trust by like trying to act like something. Build trust. Part of that, especially for you really young coaches, understand like you don't demand respect. You don't demand respect. You earn trust. There's a big difference there. You want to get a guy to freaking run through a wall for you. Get him to trust you. Okay? That doesn't mean be his best friend. Doesn't mean like you need to tell him about cool things you did when you were in high school and college. Like show that guy that like you're trying to make him a better man. Okay? You don't come in and demand here like a teacher, like never smile the first week of school. That's not how it's done. You don't demand it. You earn it. I heard I was at a coach's clinic one time going through this leadership academy, and they asked like, "Why do you coach? Why do you coach the way you do? And how does it feel to be coached by you?" And I was like, hey, you know, those first two were like, "All right, why do I coach?" Well, like it's calling. I had some good answers in my head. Why do I coach the way I do? Fortunately, I've had some great coaches. I've learned a lot from people I've been around. How does it feel to be coached by me? At that point, the first thing that popped in my head was intimidating. Yeah, I don't feel like guys want to really like work their butt off for somebody because they're intimidated. Yeah, demanding, yes. I want to be demanding, but not intimidating. Doesn't make me any tougher. What else?
How do you keep your guys consistently motivated and driven to pursue excellence?
If I obviously I board trade recruiting. So, what else? You got a kid too, right? No, I think it's talk about like what again for us we don't hardly ever talk about winning. It's really about like you just want to know like how good you could be. Like really meeting them in that point, like what would it look like? What would it look like if you just tried it one time, bought into it? And guys get hung up in this like, yeah, but what if I put all this work in and I still don't get what I want? And I had a conversation with 3 different guys this week about this. Like one of them actually texted me, he's like, man, sometimes I just don't know if it's worth it. I'm like, well, if what's worth it though? What are you even talking about? Because if you're saying like going to college and getting a degree, is it worth it? Honestly, I don't know. You go do a trade, you probably make more money. Just getting the degree might not be worth it. Winning a national title, it's worth it for like a week. And then it wears off and it's not even that cool anymore. So really, if that's all you're doing it for, no, it's not worth it. But it's really about the thing we already know. You guys already know. It's about who you become in the process. Like, is it worth it when you feel like quitting? When like this sucks, man. That adversity, that time when you're like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Every single one of you that Russell felt that at some point, and if you got through it, you look back on it, and you're like, and that's what I'm most proud of. And some of you that didn't, like my part of what makes me a good coach or has helped me be a good coach is like all my failures in college, coming up close too many times and not getting what I wanted. And so for some of you that you wish you could do things different, having that conversation on just being real with them. Here's why I didn't get what I wanted. I don't want you to make the same mistake I did. It's not be perfect because I tell you to. Just don't go down some of the same roads I did. So I think it's build that trust and then again talk about it. Talk about it. Anything else? Good? Yeah. I'll stick around here for a little bit. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Grandview was one of the colleges that is also on that list of free attendance. So that IWCOA card that Bob Murphy sends out, all you gotta do is show up, show that, and you're in. I'm guessing they're probably a pretty fun team to watch. Right, we have not much left. We've got one more breakout session. We've got the track wrestling. We're not gonna do that in A. This is A, right? We're gonna go track wrestling back where it was. Off-season wrestling, we're gonna go in the next one over. Coaching 101. We'll go in the last room and promoting your program online. If you want to see that, we'll just stay in here. We do have a few minutes if you need to stand up, stretch, or whatever. Let's meet back at 3:05.